Okay, Ax, let's talk about swing plane, right? So we hear a lot of discussion of players getting steep in the downswing, and that causes a slew of errors, early extension, standing up, topping the ball, hitting behind, everything in between. And especially with junior golfers, we see a lot of early extension, don't we? We see their kind of right leg fire out towards the target, the whole body move in towards it. And then by the time they make impact, they're like this, right?
Agreed.
And so when it comes to the shaft plane, specifically by this stage in the downswing, you've got a great exercise that you use with a lot of junior golfers that simplifies the golf swing to a basic level that anyone of any level can use to flatten their swing plane, don't you?
Yeah, so especially when you're dealing with junior golfers and entry-level golfers, we need to make sure that they've got some really simple keys of reference that they can use to be able to implement a change. So a very simple one would be the difference between a Ferris wheel and a merry-go-round.
Perfect.
So most slicers of the golf club are going to be moving the club like a Ferris wheel.
Yep.
It's very up and down, very vertical.
Yeah, big time.
Both sides, but predominantly on the backswing. Now, with junior golfers, when they're significantly less strength and upper body strength, they're going to be less inclined to be able to manage the weight of the club, the swinging of the club, and get the club back nice and square in the right position. So rather than asking them to talk about swing plane or talk about swing direction, think of it being opposed to a vertical Ferris wheel, up and down.
Yep.
They're going to go more around their body like a merry-go-round.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So a great visual to form there. And we find that when teaching golfers, sometimes when you remove the element of the ball on the ground, it makes it even easier, doesn't it? So I think there's a huge misconception around there that the golf swing is some very complex motion, unlike any other sport. But if we simplify it, right, and I get into my golf posture, and then I stand up dead straight. If we're going to take that merry-go-round analogy that you used, what would I do with this golf club, Axel?
If the club head and the grip is relatively parallel to the ground,
Yep.
we would try to maintain that on the same level or pitch throughout the backswing.
Now, what do they do in the follow-through? We've done all this hard work, we've created a nice around swinging motion. What do I do from here?
Perfect. So what you want to try and do is maintain the same pitch of the shaft through into the downswing and into the follow-through. So it's going to stay parallel to the ground for as long as possible.
Yeah,
perfect. The arms are going to swing past the turn of the body.
Yeah, perfect. And I think
Awesome.
that's an important key to note. We just did a great video talking about the release of how to create more power and speed. So make sure you go and check that one out. But the feeling from the club shaft at address here, staying flat with the ground axe. And then would you say like imagining a tabletop and you're trying to get that shaft running along the tabletop? Obviously it's not perfect, but close enough, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, perfect. So level with the ground, swinging around nice and flat, let that head release, flat around in the follow through. Now, if in the follow through, you want to have a little bit more of a normal finish, that's totally fine. You can see that I'm exaggerating for educational purposes in the follow through of getting this wrapping around, but you'll notice how much whip that club's going to have and is staying on plane. So let's say they've done that. They've created the around motion from their setup. They've gone to step one, set the club in front, swing it flat with the ground, swing it flat with the ground. What's step two?
I want you to bend a little bit more from your hips, getting your chest a little bit closer to the ground,
Okay.
about halfway between where it was and where the ground is,
Yep.
and recreate that same feel in the backswing. Okay, throwing of the head into the downswing and into the follow through. Perfect.
So really interesting there. Relative to the first one, I didn't relate that to a golf swing at all. I'm standing up, I'm doing something which I've been instructed to do, got the club level, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, great. We're swinging around our body. All fair and well. How am I going to relate this to a golf ball? If I swing flat around and flat around, we'll find that most players will make a pretty flat golf swing relative to a big old steep number. But if we bend a little bit more down from the hips, well, now we start to build an idea that the golf swing is very similar to that same motion, but we're tilted from the hips at address. So as I bend down to, let's say, knee height, where that club is in line with my knees, and I start making a golf swing, if I'm a player who tends to swing on too much of an up and down motion, like a Ferris wheel, just as Axel was describing before, well, this is going to feel so different for where the club should be in space. At the top of their swing axle, let's talk about depth. What will this feeling give them at the top?
as the club's working more around your body, your arms are covering across your chest, you're almost going to feel like your hands and arms are behind the heels of your feet.
Yeah, big time.
Okay, because this is then going to allow the club to have a better delivery, more throwing of the head, more speed, but more importantly, the direction of the swing is back into the right position that we're looking for.
So, and we think about the average player that comes in here to get work on their swing, to remove that steep shaft in transition, they struggle with the slicing of the golf ball, right? Low speed, not hitting it far enough, slicing of the golf ball.
Yep.
So for the fact that we create more depth, meaning the end of the grip is further away from the golf ball than where what we would see with someone who picks the golf club up and down, we create more depth by getting it more around. Well, now we have room to swing from the inside, but also, very importantly, like Ax said, release the club with some power. If I'm picking this thing straight up, I have no time and no room to do any of that. So the feeling of going from level, knee height, and then Ax, the final step.
Bit more bend from the hips, get the club resting behind the ball, and swing around your body like a merry-go-round.
Well, you know what? Perfect combination of that around motion, putting me in a great position to have more room from that depth to deliver that golf club from the inside, release that club head with speed and power. This drill, incredible way to improve your ball striking.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.